Kereisos Daf Chav Aleph. When the Torah describes the isser of eating blood, the Torah has a klal or pratu klal, a generalization, specification, generalization. First, the Torah starts off the chol dam lo yisoichlu, and the following pasuk says kol nefesh asher teichal kol dam, and in the middle it says la'oif lebehema, to a bird and to an animal. Now, if the Torah would only say la'oif, I would think there are three types of klayim. There's a klayim, there's usher to mate a bird with another species. There's an isser to plow a field with a bird and another animal like a bull. But it's not usher to use the feather of the bird together with tzemer pishtim or something like that. So therefore I would think that the la'oif comes to exclude a sheep, which does have klayim. That's why the Torah has to say the word behema. And if the Torah would only say behema, I would think it comes to exclude a bird that doesn't have shiluach haken. That's why the Torah says la'oif ula behema, even though the first pasuk is referring to the isser lav, and the second pasuk, as it says v'nichros in green, it's an isser karas. Nevertheless, Rabbi Shmuel holds you can learn a klal or pratu klal even though they're not similar. What does a klal or pratu klal come to include that we wouldn't know otherwise? It comes to include a koi, an animal that's a mix. One of its parents is a deer, the other parent is a goat. And I would think that an animal like that doesn't have an isser to eat its blood. Kamash malan, it does. Even though a koi, according to this man domar, is a bria b'fnei atzma, it's its own. It wouldn't be able to learn it out from an animal, from a behema, or a chai, because it's its own species. If a koi is its own animal, its own species, how do we know other yisurim, such as chaylev? For that, the Torah says kol chaylev. How do I know the isur nevela? It says kol nevela. Giranasha, anything that has a yerech, has giranasha. Shchita and Tumah, I would say, since it's so similar to behema that it requires all the hilchas shchita and it has Tumah, so misvara, logic tells us that a koi also. If a person, this is kind of gross, but if a person cuts off a piece of another human being to feed it to a dog, the halacha is that that piece of meat doesn't have tumas oichlin. It doesn't become tummy as food. However, if you cut it off in order to feed it to another human being, whatever the case is, then it is mitamet tumas oichlin until it's not roi lachilas kelef. If a person cut off from a dead person, that's not mitamet oichlin, even though that by a nevela, the halacha is, in order to be mitamet ben nevela, you need a full kezayis. Tumas oichlin, the food has to be a full kibetza. So what happens if in a scenario that you have a little bit less than a kezayis, that's not metame by itself, nevela, and you want to combine it with an egg, less than an egg's worth, so the total is 1 egg's worth, to have tumas oichlin. The halacha is that if you consider it as food, it combines for the shear of a kibetza. That's by nevela. But by human flesh, it cannot combine with the rest of the food to create a kibetza shear because since most people, besides cannibals, don't eat other human beings, then this is not considered food. The halacha is that if you take a kezayis of nevela and you cover it with dough, so now you have a tziruf, you could combine it for the total shear of a kibetza. That is, as is right now with the dough, it will be metama tumakala, tumas oichlin and tumakala. But if you touch it, you won't become tummy tumachamura because the dough acts as a shield for the tumachamura. And the reason why you don't need hechsher tumah for this, you don't need to pour water on it in order for it to be susceptible to tumah, is because it's metama b'masa. That is, if you lift it, you will become tummy. If you covered a dead body with dough, in that case the tumah is so strong, its bekeya v'oila goes right through the dough and is metama you. It doesn't act as a shield. The blood of an avela, the machlekes b'shamay and b'sil, b'shamay say it has the same halacha as the meat of an avela, and therefore it is, that's b'sil, they say it has the halacha of a meat, and therefore it's metama, and b'shamay say it doesn't have the halacha of the actual meat, and therefore it's tar. The blood of a chaya is also asur to eat, even though its chaylev is mutter. A bird is asur to eat, even though it doesn't have a giranasha, but fish and grasshoppers are mutter to eat the blood because they don't require shchita. If you gather the blood, let's say in a cup, to drink, it's asur midrabanan because people will confuse that with the blood of a behema. And if it has scales of a fish and it's noticeable that it's from a fish, then it's mutter. If somebody is about to eat or drink the blood of a sheretz, if the Edom came and gave him asra, they warned him and they said, don't drink the blood of a sheretz, he's not over, you can't give him malchus. But if they said, don't eat a sheretz, then they could give him malchus, even though he only ate a kazayas, just like as if he ate the meat of a sheretz. The blood of a human being is mutter min ha-Torah. So if it's not separated from his body, like the blood of his teeth come out when you're brushing your teeth or something, you're allowed to eat that lechatchila. But if it came out and it went into a vessel, then it's asur midrabanan, and whoever tries to eat it, Rashi says, there's a mitzvah to refrain from eating it. Have a wonderful day.